Hey guys, it's Destiny, and today I'm going to be showing you guys Acheron in Memory of Chaos 12 with only 4-star characters. And I really wanted to show you guys that Acheron can work even with only 4 stars and still do a good amount of damage. So if you guys do enjoy videos like these, do make sure to subscribe, leave a like to support the video. And before we get straight into it, I wanted to ask you guys, what is something that you like doing just as a hobby? And the answer could literally just be playing video games. That's really a good one for me. But one thing I really like enjoying that I guess is outside of video games is I like to occasionally read like manga and like occasional novels and stuff like that. So I'd love to know what you guys like doing for your hobbies. And without further ado, let's get straight into it. So as I mentioned in the beginning, we're going to be doing 4-star only with my team for today. And we're going to be using Gallagher, Pela, and Sampo. They work pretty nicely on this Memory of Chaos in particular, which I'll be explaining while we play through the run. But yeah, let's get straight into it. So let's just throw our bomb at Yangqing. And then begin with Pela. So as you guys can see, the Mara Strike guy is the guy who has the Crimson Knot Sack. So we're just going to hard focus on him. And I'm going to use Pela's skill here to guarantee that she can get her ultimate. And now with Sampo, we are going to use his skill. And then lastly with Gallagher, we are just going to basic attack. So let's see who the Mara attacks, and it is Acheron. So what we're going to do now is use Pela's ultimate. And there we go. Now with Acheron, I'm actually going to use her skill. But since the Marshak guy no longer has the ensnarement, I'm just going to basic attack with Pela. And now with Acheron, I'm going to use her ultimate. And just to show you guys all the debuffs right now, we have multiple defense drops, and then we also have wind shear. As for Acheron herself, she is also holding Fermata, which is a free-to-play light cone. I mainly want to show you guys this light cone in today's showcase. So bang, bang, and let's see how much we could do. Boom! For over 400,000, which I think is pretty good, honestly. And now with Sampo, what I'm going to do is just use our skill. And with Sampo, just use our ultimate, just so they have the damage over time vulnerability. And now what I'm going to do with Gallagher is just basic attack. And then use his ultimate to weakness break the little minions, as well as get Gallagher's field up, which allows us to heal some health. And with Gallagher, now I could just basic attack with him like so. So the Mara is going to take a bit of damage, which is awesome. Sampo's going to take a little bit chunk of damage too. So what I want to do now is just basic attack with Pela. Then with Acheron, we can just skill. Boom. And there we go. Pela is going to take a bit of damage, but thankfully we have Gallagher, so we could just heal her back up. So what I want to do now is hard focus the wind shear onto everybody, just so they can get knocked out from the wind shear. We're going to heal up Pela, and now with Sampo, just use his skill again. Okay. There we go. Oh my god, my Acheron is so low, but we're just going to basic attack, and there we go. We did heal a bit of health, which is good. What I'm going to have to do here with Gallagher, though, is I definitely need to heal her up. Just basic attack with Pela, and then with Sampo. Honestly, yeah, we can just basic attack as well with Sampo. So he's about to summon his sword, so we're just going to unleash all our ultimates. And I know I'm over-capped, which maybe I could have just used my ultimate right away. But just in case, I do want to get rid of these swords as soon as possible, so we don't take unnecessary amounts of damage while we are fighting Yangqing here. So let's just see how much damage we could deal. And boom, another 400,000, which is awesome. Then the wind shear is going to go onto him. So we're just going to do is use our skill. Use Pela's basic attack. Use Sampo. And then with Gallagher, we're just going to basic attack and then use his ultimate here. I accidentally was clicking the wrong ultimate. And oh my gosh. Guys, I literally clicked the wrong ultimate by accident. I was clicking 3 on my keyboard and my Pela almost died because of it. Oh no. Okay, that was my mistake, you guys. We're about to heal her back up. No worries. We're gonna heal her up. Oh no. Thankfully that did not hit Pela, because that would be really, really bad. Okay, we recovered our health. So now what we're gonna do is just skill with Acheron here. Then with Pela, we could just basic attack, use her ultimate, get some more healing going on. There we go. And now with Sampo, we are just going to inflict the wind shear. I'm going to use Acheron's ultimate, and then right after, we're going to use Sampo's. So there we go. Boom. Okay, and now we should actually be able to break Yangqing. And honestly, Yangqing might be dead after this. Like, once he gets hit with that wind shear, he might honestly be dead. So what we're going to do is just basic attack. Yep. There we go. Yay. We were able to get a 2 cycle with that team. With all 4 stars, I think that's pretty good, honestly. But let's just go over the build super fast so I can give you guys an idea of what I was using and why I was using the things that I was on my team. Now I'm kind of flustered because I didn't expect Sampo to just do that and like Yangqing just went down. But let's get right into those builds though. As you guys see, Fermata Acheron, we have 74% crit rate, 173 crit damage, and 3400 attack, which is pretty decent. Here is the light cone. We have max traces. Our relics are the Pioneer set and also the new planar set. And she is also E0. So one thing I wanted to explain with this light cone is this light cone is completely free. You can get it, if I'm not mistaken, from Memory of Chaos. So as you guys just play through Memory of Chaos, this can be a consideration. But what I will say about this light cone in particular is that it is a bit situational when it could actually be good on a character. As you guys see, the break effect thing is pretty nice from this light cone, but the main thing that matters is that you are able to increase your damage to enemies inflicted with shock or wind shear by 32%. This also applies to damage over time. So this light cone is really good on characters such as Sampo. It could be a free-to-play option on Kafka if you aren't using the simulated universe light cone on her. This can potentially be an option also on Black Swan if you do have enough effect hit rate. So overall, it can work on numerous characters, but the restriction definitely is that shock or wind shear needing to be on the enemy, which means if you're going to put this light cone on Acheron, you do need to have a character that can inflict wind shear or shock on your team. And this Memory of Chaos does make it a little bit easier because the Trotter literally inflicts damage over time onto the enemy when you defeat the Trotter. So that's pretty beneficial, but relatively speaking, let's say you're playing it in a scenario where there's no Trotter, there's nothing that inflicts the damage over time except for your team members. You will be required to have Sampo, Kafka, or Black Swan on the team for this to be an effective option. Otherwise, you're just not going to be able to get the 32% damage increase. Now, I will say another person that just popped in my head who can inflict shock is actually Serval. So maybe that could be an option. But the only issue I feel like with Serval and Acheron is that unfortunately, Serval is not a Nihility character, so you won't be able to get that Nihility damage benefit that the other characters I just listed, Black Swan, Kafka, and Sampo, would be able to give Acheron here. But this light cone still overall, let's say you do use any of those characters with her, this light cone can definitely be a very nice option just to have on your Acheron as a free option, of course. And I think the damage output, relatively speaking, for a free option was pretty good. And of course, it just comes down to what team you have and how the characters synergize with one another. For Sampo, Sampo is really good just for inflicting wind shear very, very consistently onto enemies. With Sampo, you're going to want a good amount of attack. You want to prioritize his speed as well. Potentially even his break effect. Sampo can do some pretty nice things with a good amount of break effect. And then also, if you do have, of course, your effect hit rate matters because you want to actually be able to inflict the wind shear onto the enemy. And real quick, I didn't show you guys the Acheron stats fully, so here you go. But yeah, so with Sampo's case, you just want to prioritize the attack, the speed, potentially the break effect. I do have energy regeneration rope on this Sampo, mainly because I wanted this Sampo to get his ultimate as fast as possible so that he can get the damage over time vulnerability on the enemy, and especially to take advantage of the Trotter that's just sitting there on the field, because Sampo's ultimate will be able to just take advantage of this fully, just so that damage over time does a bit more damage. He has Eyes of the Prey on him, which is a pretty good light cone for him. Once again, he can also use his own Fermata as well, or even the simulated universe light cone can be an option for you guys too. It increases the wearer's effect hit rate by 40%, increases the damage over time by 48%. So this Lycone is honestly just awesome for him. And then for traces, we have 12, 12, 12. For relics, we have the Wind set and the Von Quack set. So I really like this combination because it allows your characters to move up with their action value in cycles, which allows them in turn to potentially get more turns before the cycle wraps up. And it could just be pretty nice when you are playing with a character like Acheron, because now Acheron's team members, even if they aren't the fastest team members, still have a way to go more within turn cycles, which means if they get to attack more, it means Acheron will get more stacks. So it's just a pretty nice combination. And for Eidolons, we have E6. Actually, this Eidolon's really funny. It's huge money. I love the name of his Eidolons. I just noticed that. Oh my gosh. I love that. For Pela, here she is. I have the same Pela build as I've been showing you guys recently in my other showcases. She has 143 speed, and then she also has the energy regeneration as well. She has a good amount of effect hit rate just so she can end up hitting the ensnared effect with this light cone. For her traces, she is 10, 10, 10. And then her relics, she's literally running the same set as Sampo, the Von Quack set and the Eagle set. Once again, for both of these characters, by the way, you do not need this relic set. It's just really nice because then you're going to just be able, once again, to go more within those turn cycles, and as a result, your Acheron will get her stacks faster. So that's why I like using these types of sets on my Nihility characters. In particular, Pela is really nice, and Sampo can also heavily take advantage of it because he actually deals wind damage, so that's pretty good. She is E6. And then lastly, we have Gallagher, which Gallagher is a bit on the faster side. I wanted him to be a bit faster. He has a decent amount of crit rate and crit damage. You don't really necessarily need this. I was mainly just focusing on, okay, I want energy, a bit of energy regeneration on him. Effect resistance is really nice, so he can resist potentially getting affected by a crowd control debuff. And for his light cone, it's just post-op conversation. This one's just really nice because of the energy regeneration rate increase. I really like it for that. He is 10, 10, 10. And then for his relics, he has the Musketeer of Wild Wheat set and then Rutland Arena. I was trying to go with an offensive Gallagher, and I'm not really sure how I feel yet, you guys, about offensive Gallagher. I'm personally probably just gonna go full on like break Gallagher only, because like I don't know if I'm really feeling it yet. I need to test the waters more with offensive Gallagher. Yeah, this Gallagher doesn't even have like that much break effect, so I wouldn't really follow this Gallagher too much. I would heavily prioritize the break effect because he's able to increase his outgoing healing. But this Gallagher honestly just stole relics from someone else, so he's definitely still a work in progress. But if you do intend to use him, definitely ensure that you have a good amount of break effect on him, just so you can heal even more than like what I was doing, for example. And then for his Eidolons, he is E6. I'm not mistaken, yeah, his E2 Eidolon's actually pretty nice because then you're going to be able to remove a debuff from a target ally. So he has a form of cleansing with his skill, so that's awesome. And overall, when it comes to building a 4-star centric team, or maybe you can maybe consider it even like, I guess, a more free-to-play centric team, because this team literally has Acheron and 2 of her banner characters alongside with her, being Pela and Gallagher. Sampo, of course, you would more than likely have to pull him. I don't actually remember if he's going to be in the 4-star selector. I honestly cannot remember that at the current moment, but in the pinned comment, if he is, I'll make sure to mention it. But if you do not have a character like Sampo, other options could hypothetically be like Gwenifin. Gwenifin's able to inflict Fire Kiss. She can burn enemies. She could deal her own fair damage as well. Let's say you have a break effect Gwenifin or a more offensive Gwenifin. She could definitely do her own fair share of damage. I really like Pela when it comes to a 4-star option for Acheron, because Pela is literally able to do a defense drop onto every enemy on the field, which makes her really, really valuable, because that defense drop is really nice just for Acheron being able to just deal more and more and more damage. So that's why I like this team comp personally. And I know we are quite limited on, I suppose, what our Nihility options are, because you only really have, I guess, out of the 4-star options, you really only have Sampo, Pela, Gwenifin, and Luca, and I think that's actually it. I'm pretty sure I'm not forgetting one. If I am forgetting one, they'll be on the screen right now. If you guys want to see me live, make sure to check me out on Twitch as well, because I plan to stream quite a bit this week, and whenever, of course, I am free and follow along with my schedule. So yeah, make sure to check me out there as well. And I hope you all enjoyed the video. And if you did, make sure to subscribe, leave a like to support the video. And I hope to see you all next time. Peace.